You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 5th, 2024 meeting of the Long Beach Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
It's my disguise. You started, you know. Everybody is here.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to do this again. Jane. I just started it. I thought I hadn't started. Jane, are you, say here? Here. David?
Here.
Charlie?
Here.
Janice? Here. And Ellen here. Okay, and I'm gonna be close. Here's the agenda for Jane. It's been a while. So a lot of the stuff that I have in old business is old, and it's changed. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about some communications that we had about some trees and different things happening in the, community. I can't remember the date. I do have a copy of it. We were, contacted. Meg Collins had contacted me that a Mr. Walker wanted to put a tree in, actually an oak, I think an oak tree. And he wanted to put it in at June Way and Golden Gate intersection. Okay. A maple. He wanted to put a maple. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So, I got the message and I went the next day. I asked Janice to come with me. We took the ordinance and we looked at all the rules. We, how much measured. There was, power lines above it. It went like right through this pie-shaped area that they wanted to put this tree. And there's a fire hydrant there. And it's an awful intersection because it's busy. June Way isn't busy, but Golden Gate is another street that goes through there to stop. So we said, thank you, but no thank you, because of it being a line of sight and not being a good place to put a tree. Besides, the kind of tree he wanted to put in is on our list of trees not to be put in. And the reason the maple is not a popular tree to put in, even in the city of Chicago, they don't do it, is they have shallow roots and they lift streets and sidewalks. So we said, no, thank you, but thank you. The next one, we feel like this, CJ Dempsey contacted, the Parks Board and asked to put, wanted to, put some trees and landscaping in at stop 16 where the trees were taken down, that we had taken down for him. All the cottonwoods that we had taken down, he now wants to landscape the area with a couple of service berries and some other plants. So it started off with the Parks Board, then it went to Joy Smith and the Town Council, and then they let me chime in, and we turned him down too. The reason we have somebody at 29 that put trees up and they have taken a long time, but this man is being made to take them all down. They blocked the view for the other citizens.
Yes.
It was on town property and they was ruining the view, and we pretty much decided that it's really nice that people want to do that. And if they do it on their own property and it's kind of gone into it's probably a different story, but this is the stop. And we want to keep it clear. We want to keep it clear so everybody can enjoy the view. Also, they've hired 3 different landscaping companies to take care of all of these stops between weeding and cutting grasses and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice that when they want to put this in, but who takes care of it? So we just think that, and anything that goes in there, we're really pushing for it to all be native plants. Nothing fancy, no ornamentals and that kind of stuff, because there's just nobody to take care of it. So, or to get over there and water it. So we really wanted to make it native to fit into the stop. So, Zach then, he got back to CJ and he told him, thank you. but planting trees and landscaping in general is not cheap. So I realize you're offering something significant here, but the Parks has been consistent about view protection by for residents at the stops. And in fact, in several cases, we've asked residents to remove trees that they plant on our property at the stops, given the fact that the mature trees will eventually block lake views from visitors to the stops and folks who are walking along Lakeshore Drive. As you know, some stops already have huge trees on our property that already block views. Of course, we would never be a proponent of removing decades of old trees for that reason, but do have to say that we don't want to plant them on stops, and so have a very nice open view from the top of the stop all the way down to the sand, so people can see. So they said, no, thank you. And that was the other correspondence. So those are the big significant things that have happened in the last 4 months, but not the meetings. The next thing, we're going to talk about, we've talked a lot about what's on the budget, you know, taking trees down and stuff like that. We want to make another push with the town council about going after intersections that are so overrun with trees that it's the view of people driving and kids walking and people riding bikes is dangerous. And especially on those through streets, the stops. So we have some various pictures about, you know, bringing the canopy up, cutting back according to what's in the ordinance, so you have a better view. So, and Janice had this problem. I was just walking my son's dog, and I almost got hit by a car because I come against the traffic, and as I'm coming this way, I could not see this car coming out of Foxhill. I said, okay, yeah.
And it's kind of nice to landscape, and we talked about it before. Facebook and then volleyball.
Yeah,
You get it down.
yeah.
You know, you cannot say anything, I don't know what Facebook did, but coming on open ball, you can't see anything that's happening.
That open wall is bad, and Foxdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, and it's really an odd intersection. You got the V, you got the straight across, yeah, it is, it's very strange. So, what I would like to do is when I go to do the report at the town council meeting on Monday, I want to make a presentation and pick at like the top 3 intersections we want to do, I believe in baby steps, and ask them to please cut these back according to the ordinance, so they're safe for the residents of Long Beach, and to pursue some of this that way. It's in our ordinance now, and we've talked about trees been cutting down and all that, so we just want to be proactive in pushing this ordinance that took us such a long time to write. So things are, you know, taking care of our community. We're not a shopping committee. They talk about our little committee here with trees. But we're gonna just push a little bit and do some, you know, little baby steps to get what we want. And I have made copies for you, so you know what part of the ordinance that I'm going to be talking about, that are in our ordinance, so to have all these, some of the intersections cut back and according to what we've done.
Say something.
Sure.
So, if you're in a neighborhood that has any significantly visually challenged places, or you know one,
Mm-hmm.
let us know, because you can put that, you can talk about it
Yeah,
Monday, so that, you know, some.
so I mean, one. This one's for, they have a kind of talk about, yeah, this is nice here. Yeah, this is the part of the ordinance here. I don't know, this we'll talk about next, but that's the part of the ordinance that talks about how the intersections and that's part of our job. So, and then we have some pictures. If you find a picture, send it to me before Monday, and I will have copies of this. Send it to me. A picture next to my email. And I can print it at my house. I just got all kinds of ink. So I could do that. I know it's ink is the big thing. So I just think this should be something that we start working on, you know, pushing a little bit toward getting some of this done, and all the money not going to just cutting down dead trees, but some of it going to making other parts of the community safe. So anyone have any questions or comments, or are we all for this, or? Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we have any. Yeah, it's just following the ordinance. I don't, you know, we don't need to make a motion or anything. I just, you know, I just wanted to get together about pushing for this, you know, to, try to make things a little safer. I don't know that we'll be successful, but as my mother used to describe my grandma Shannon, she beats you to death with a velvet glove and wins. So,
The hope would be that the town puts together a plan to, you know, slowly get some of this cut back and raise the canopy, et cetera.
It doesn't allow, the town hall,
mhm.
as that kind of work. They're still allowed to agree, but, okay, you know, it could allow that.
Yeah, that's, Stop 24 is, we just went down there because the garden club was helping with that, and we looked at it, and we were there with the Parks Board, and Jan and I went down there, you know, and it's a mess, and there's gonna be a push to renovate that whole area, because there's still something to be said about the grant that they got and all that, and there's certain things that they have to keep up and all that, but some of the timbers that they put in there are, everything's kind of falling apart, and now with the way the water's running through there, and Stop 18's a mess because of the sewer projects, and they have to redo the boardwalk there, so it's something else that's going on, but that has nothing to do with us, that's town business, so. Okay, so the vegetation, and the last one is to discuss the vote of changing our monthly meetings to quarterly meetings. And I gave you, the first thing that I gave you talks about what our duties are, and that's why, we're gonna be pushing for this stuff, them cutting back stuff, and it also talks, I also wanted to make the proposition that according to this, our term is only 2 years, but they got rid of term limits, because nobody's, you know, there's not a waiting list to get on a committee. So, just so you know, and that other one is just to remind us of our duties. So this, as I'm talking about this is why we're doing it, is being able to disseminate information and other things to the community. And Jan's been working on oak wilt, which is a huge problem with oak trees, just to be sending it out on our website. The website has gotten better. Our ordinance is on there, kind of. I'm still trying to get the exhibits on there. Meg Collins is doing a beautiful job of straightening that all out, but she needs time. So there's, you know, between her job and helping us with everything else, she's done an amazing job. So I've kind of waited on, you know, pushing anything else about our ordinance. But I did have the opportunity when this guy, you know, asked to put something in, we told him no, and I sent him a whole copy of the ordinance, highlighting the areas that I was talking about in my letter, saying that's why we have to say no, thank you. So slowly but surely we get that ordinance out there. It's not going to be, you know, a bestseller for people to go read. So anyway, so I wanted you to look at that, and if anyone wants to lead this committee, please feel free. You don't, you know, I just feel like it's something that needs to be said out loud. We've been doing this and coming together, and if you're tired of coming, it's fine. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. I think we all get along, and now that we're only going to see each other 4 times a year, it should be great. So I think we do have to vote on changing it to quarterly meetings. I do have, this is our first quarterly meeting as far as I'm concerned. So we will have a meeting, we're having this meeting June, the next meeting will be in September, and I'll email you the dates. It's September, the next one will be in December, and then March.
I don't,
Go ahead.
I don't know whether we would be about this.
You know, I don't know. I think maybe just to catch up, because some of the other stuff, like, as we don't have to do a ordinance now, there's things that we can be educating the community about, and some of that stuff, getting that out. So I think more of the meeting would be a short meeting, just to kind of say where we're at. Is the ordinance on, just to like talk to each other and see what's happened over the months, because they call us for certain things, and just to kind of keep it up, so maybe
Yeah,
that's.
so we are going to schedule the meeting if there's a request.
Yes, absolutely, yeah, that can be. So, I know we have to, do all this. I don't think there's even anybody on here. No, so we don't even get people watching.
So I think we should prioritize at budget time, it should be, they put the budget together in August and September.
Mhm,
For the time, I can't remember, it's late,
mhm.
but if there's something you wanna, vote or some budget.
Well, yeah, for the tree, and we do, it's always about the trees that are dead, that they're taking down. And I think, we can start, and we can do that. Yeah, it's, because I'm gonna be reporting on Monday about this and the budget. We would like, I think I'm gonna need to say something about, we need to talk about using that budget to do some of this stuff besides the dead trees. It shouldn't be just to get us out of trouble. It should also be to make things pretty. It's always like, we gotta take these trees down, we gotta take these trees down. And now they're waiting on this budget, because some of them were oaks, and, Joy jumped in and said, there will be no oak trees taken down in Long Beach until November because of the oak wilt. Oak wilt has stuff on the outside of the oak tree, has stuff on the inside of the oak tree, and it has to be cut down when it's dormant because it spreads. And it'll spread to any oak tree. It's not just one kind of oak tree. And I think Janice and Peoria saw 19 of them go down.
We have 15 in our yard. 15
Oak trees.
I mean, they were huge.
All down. So it's a real thing. Yeah. I had my oak trees trimmed like it last, like the first week of March, and that was the last that they would do anything. So, but yeah, it's a real thing. It's, so I read everything at the Purdue Extension, their thing about trees and everything, and it's really a thing until it happens to. We don't want it to happen to us and like, oh, maybe we should have done something. So we were able to stop any oak trees being taken down.
Just that ordinance,
What?
the little tree trimming, because that would impact homeowners as well as town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because typically our tree board does, I say they
Partners, it's something in the future, not maybe trying to, so.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Christian. Yeah. Brian Ann's been talking about it for a year. Yeah, it's a real thing, and it's gotten worse. So, and
it's moving more.
Yeah.
Kind of problem.
So there's a dead tree, going.
no. I mean, we need to cut them down. They have slowly, since this committee started, they have upped this budget. They had it, when we started, there was $10,000 for tree maintenance. The next year there was 20,000, and then this year it's 50,000. A lot of trees went down last year in the windstorm. I mean, there is always going to be catastrophic stuff. So we need to push for other things in the budget, and it has to be a bigger budget so that they can do some of this stuff, instead of it always just being this budget that's used in case trees fall down. Pretty much that's what happens now. So, all we can do is try and see if we can get our point across. So, NIPSCO comes out and they cut trees down because of the power lines, but they don't, they just chop away to get them away from the way.
There are, what, I can ask.
Yeah.
No, he'll know, because he works in NIPSCO, because there's some right across from here, I agree, but they're more spruces, I don't know, maybe not in the vines. And if there's an ice storm, then that comes down, it's, and sometimes you know, people like power companies trimming the trees because they feel they don't do a very nice job, but they're trying to prevent any of them taking those power lines down, which are like, no,
No, who, it's NIPSCO trucks.
not anymore, this guys that were in the neighborhood
And
or something else. And
they might have put it out, they don't prune trees. They clear away trees from their lines. That's their purpose. So, and I think their feeling is, and you know, the person who lives across the street from me, they just feel that if that's an important tree for you and you don't want us to cut it down, then you should be taking care of it and trimming it. So they don't trim trees, but this is information I got like 5 years ago, when we started cutting trees, but yeah.
the biggest things, homeowners, you plant a tree underneath, they're like, one's right across the street, somebody planted it, was underneath their young trees. I mean,
We, when I was working on the final stages of this ordinance, I sat with Dr. Lemay a couple of times, and he made real sure that that was in there about not putting trees under power lines, because that's what he did. And then he had to cut them down and move them. And then he found out deer eat them anyway. Deers eat evergreens, people. I'm watching them eat all these evergreens in my backyard, so. It's, my neighbor put some evergreens in and all of them are practically dead with them eating them, with deer running their body next to them and whatever. So, so I'm gonna make a motion that we, change our meetings from monthly to quarterly, and would someone second it?
I'll second.
Second, okay, so should we vote on it? Everyone for that, yay, yay, okay, thanks. We don't vote that often, so I'm not sure I did it right. So. Well, that's about it. So we need budget, oak tree in ordinance. Anyone think of anything else before Monday? Or if you have a picture, you can just send it, because I will have pictures for the retreat, for the town council to look at. So, and I'll tell my dog story. Yeah, right. So it's just, you know, we should be proactive, not reactive. So anyway, so that's all. That's all there is. If anyone else have anything they think we should be doing or problems or.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that tree is down in your area.
I think I can be David's thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you know what, that's what happened, you know, we said no, and I know some of your neighbors asked me, I said no, we said no because Tom and Chief said it was fine. And so I think that got everyone else like stepping up, and everyone went down. I think it was that, I think everybody,
Come together, a little, like a decent group. Because, this happened, you changed, recycle people,
yeah, oh,
and then they would give up, you know.
I never,
And so, the one hundred said, Paul, the chief has said, they're not picking up our recyclables. We can't hold them. Our,
no,
you know, so, now they're.
but let me, I'm gonna,
No, the tree was gone, they just, they didn't want to go back.
so I'm gonna adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Oh.